enforcement across our great nation is the biggest fundraiser for Special Olympics. That's freaking awesome. Yeah. So I'm told to ad-lib here just a bit. If you're wondering why I love our law enforcement family across the nation, it's just how I grew up. In my little dot town in Texas, about 5,000 strong, played football with a lot of our folks who are now in law enforcement. And in our little dot town, a lot of us, we didn't have a whole lot of money. But we were out there slopping hogs and baling hay and getting our fingers dirty and gritty, out there toiling the land. When you grow up like that, it just gives you some deep roots. And I know a lot of our law enforcement family out there, to some degree, is under assault. But whether I'm in the media or not, man, I'm with you guys through and through. And being from a little dot town, we are always true to it. So what you see out of me on the air or right now is exactly what you get. We don't flinch. We don't scare. I love our country. And without you fine law enforcement folks, we don't get to enjoy the freedoms in this country. We don't get to be safe. Our children don't get to play outside knowing that when the big bad wolf comes around, we got our brothers and sisters in blue to push them back. So I love you folks. And I will always love you folks. And those who don't like that, well, there's a few Texas words I can spit out. But we got a camera over here rolling, so we gotta be nice. I'm a good, God-fearing American. How about that? Okay. All right, folks, let's start our morning out by honoring our great country. We're pleased to have the Knights of Columbus Color Guard present our nation's colors.
March, colors, hope, love, peace, and colors.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can you see by the dawn's early light what for Galilee we will, every firelight clouds gleaming, through the clouds and bright stars, through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watch, where so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the one bursting in air, came through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say us as stars can go, banner yet wave, o'er the land of the free, and the home of the
How about another round of applause for these fine So when I went back home to small town Texas a couple of months ago for our rodeo, it had been a while since I'd been home, and something spectacular happened in that stadium. At the rodeo, about, 10, 15,000 strong. Boy, I'll tear up. When those folks stood up to honor God and country, and you could just feel the energy and the passion and the love, I teared up, man. I just don't see a whole lot of that in California. And so to be home and to see the little kids looking at the American flag with such reverence, it was absolutely spectacular. And so I'm walking at the rodeo and I bump into this kid. And you know, I've bumped into kids here in LA and California, and instead of them saying, you know, excuse me, sir, I'm so sorry, they'll turn around and freaking curse you out if you look at them. So I bumped into this kid, or he bumped into me, and I was like, oh boy. That kid stopped and he said, sir, I'm so sorry. Would you please excuse me? Are you okay? Is there anything I can get you? And I just stared at him. He's like, you're staring at me. I'm like, son, to see a 15-year-old young man have such respect, you just floored me. And he just smiled, stuck his hand out there and shook my hand and said, well, thank you, sir. My parents taught me to respect our older folks. And I'm like, be careful with the older folks. you had me until you went there. He just kind of giggled, but that was a real touching moment. We have many strong champions for Special Olympics with us here today, and we will hear from some of them shortly. Please welcome Knights of Columbus. Raise your hands. Y'all are awesome. There you go. And our outstanding athletes, raise your hands. Assistant Chief Blake Child, Los Angeles Police Department. Deputy Chief Aaron Pazarian. Pazarian? Close enough? Law Enforcement Torch Run Council acknowledge, how about LA School Police Sergeant Frank Durham, event chair. We will hear from Frank in just a moment. SOSC personnel, raise your hands. Special Olympics SoCal. Raise your hands. All right. And I don't know whether to call him a Texas Santa or tactical Santa. Man, you raise your hands. He's back yonder. Come on up here. There he is. That's a good-looking Santa there. All right now. We are so grateful for the amazing partnership Special Olympics has with the Knights of Columbus. The Knights have a long tradition of practicing charity in a spirit of unity, and they demonstrate this practice and love for our athletes at many Special Olympic events by serving in so many ways. This event would not be possible without their active involvement in the planning of it, as well as they are feeding us today. Where's that food at? Okay, you talk with country boy and food. Okay, here we go. Please join me in thanking them for their many years of support for Special Olympics. We are honored to have with us this morning the current State Deputy, Greg Morak, who will give us a few words.
few words. Well, all I can do is thank you all for being here and supporting Special Olympics, the Knights of Columbus, throughout California and the Order. Step forward and support our brothers and sisters with that participate in Special Olympics and everything that entails. And I thank you all for that support. And I thank you all, especially our law enforcement brothers and sisters, first responders. I thank you for what you do. And we appreciate you for everything that you do every single day. Thank you all. God bless.
And I was told that when this whole Get Up started some years ago, back when, the first year it happened, raised about $300. And to date, you fine folks doing what you do have raised over $1 billion. Yeah, come on now. It's not easy to raise $1 billion. That is absolutely outstanding. So with us here today is Laura Mayo, COO, Special Olympics Southern California, to say a few words.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming out. Last year it was raining, so the weather is much better than it was last year. I'm glad to be here. I wanted to, first of all, thank.
I want to thank Knights of Columbus. I know that we have people from as far away as Fresno, I believe, that are here. Knights. So thank you guys. You know, we couldn't do it without you. The Knights not only are here today, but they also helped us at all of our competitions. They serve lunch at competitions that are chapter games, and they're a great asset to many of our events. These type of events that we have today raise funds for Special Olympics for our athletes who are able to participate at no cost to them or their families. This makes sure that they have access to the games. We have 13 different sports that we provide year round. We just finished up our fall games. We had a great turnout. The athletes love coming out and competing. We wish we could get more here, but it's a Friday. Either they're in school or many of them work or are in a program. And so that's why they can't be here, because they have jobs. Just like many of you who had to take time off to get here today. But thank you. We have trained global messengers. I think you're going to hear from a couple of them today. We have a Healthy Athletes program, which is they have a chance to go through and meet with some doctors and have their hearing checked, their teeth checked. Many times this is the only health care that they have. Not only do our athletes get time to have their get checked, they also, the doctors are then trained on how to deal with those with intellectual disabilities. So it's certainly a win-win for all. The other partnership that I really want to acknowledge is our partnership with law enforcement. We have Blake Chow, Deputy Chief Blake Chow is here. He is Assistant Deputy Chief Blake Chow, sorry. He is our State Director for our law enforcement Torch Run Council that's here, which all the council members that are here, if you could raise your hands, these are the people that provide Let's see if this will work. Okay. All right. Is this a little better? Let me just scream at you. So those are the councils that make up all of Southern California. So thank you guys for all you do. But really, it's a partnership where all of the law enforcement from all over Southern California support Special Olympics, and they come out and they put on events like this. They come out and put on put medals on our athletes'
during competitions, and they're just there to support us however we need. So we're very thankful. I also want to thank Frank Durham, who had this great idea, and he was sure to make it happen. And every year he puts a lot of time and energy into making this the best event it could be. So we're very thankful. And of course to Corey here, who is here at More and More. So we couldn't do it without the partnership from him as well. So thank you. I hope everyone has a great day and you hit lots of targets. So thank you.
Y'all are just awesome, man. I'm telling you, you just give yourselves a round of applause. We have talked about the special partnership between law enforcement and Special Olympics. Please direct your attention to the screens above you to watch a short video on the creation of the law enforcement tour.
For nearly 40 years, members of law enforcement have been some of the biggest supporters of Special Olympics. As members of the Law Enforcement Torch Run, also known as LETR.
The Law Enforcement Torch Run is a worldwide movement that supports Special Olympics. Not only could we raise funds for Special Olympics, but we could also include them and bring them into being a part of the community.
As guardians of the flame, carrying the torch to all Special Olympics local, national, and world games. Those in law enforcement are supporting those with intellectual disabilities.
It's an honor that we are the guardians of that flame. That torch run really culminates with the importance of the event.
To share experiences. It's never about one person, it's about all of us together. We are better together than we are individually.
We go through towns and cities. This is for the vote. This is acceptance and inclusion of everyone.
It all began here in 1978, when Wichita Police Chief Richard Lemonian was invited to a Special Olympics Kansas event.
I walk up to give this gold medal to this little girl. She's just squeaking with joy, little tears of joy running down her face. And she literally lunged out and gave me the biggest hug. And I thought to myself, I don't know what we can do to help this cause, but we're going to get involved.
On this site in 1981, Chief Lemonian and his officers, inspired by their love of running and their desire to bring the transformative power of Special Olympics to their community, began what would become the first law enforcement torch run for Special Olympics.
We want to run the torch from City Hall to South High School. And I get these calls from some of the business people, and they say, gee, that was a great idea, what could we do? I said, well, send money. And we might have raised $300, but it all went to Kansas Special Olympics.
Wanting to expand the movement, Chief Lemonian brought the idea to the National Association of Chiefs of Police, signed on 2 years later. Special Olympics founder Eunice Kennedy Shriver gave her blessing as well.
What worked here in Wichita in 1981 with the torch run now works worldwide. Wherever you go, the same impact on the law enforcement officer, the reward they get out of it is the same as we got in those days.
By 1991, LETR was pulling in more than $4.5 million nationwide. That same year, Wichita officer Jack Leon, one of the founding members, became a father to a son with Down syndrome.
You guys don't know what you're doing to those kids until you see it from a parent's side. You don't feel those emotions until
you're on the receiving side and you see your kid out there doing the things you would want every other kid to do as well.
And there's more to LATR than torches. In fact, as of 2017, members of law enforcement from around the world were participating in more than 3,300 different supportive and fundraising activities worldwide. There's plane pulls, tots on donut shops, Tipica, and the epic polar plunge.
You're jumping in and freezing your tail off. That forces people, it's the perfect picture of instance of awareness and of team playing, of just all of what this is about.
The movement that began with 5 officers running through the streets of Wichita, Kansas, has become the largest grassroots fundraiser for Special Olympics. 109,000 members of law enforcement, raising more than $58 million a year. LATR is enhancing inclusion and acceptance for all.
What began as a spark of hope for Special Olympics in Wichita has become a roaring flame of stability for Special Olympic athletes worldwide.
How many of y'all were touched by watching that video? Amen. I've said it for a long time, and I'll say it again. Becoming a law enforcement officer, it ain't a job. It's a calling. And you find folks in uniform. You answered the call. And I am so appreciative of it. And many of us across this country love you as well for answering the call. And I know you guys catch a lot of crap out there. But trust me, most of us, the lion's share of us, we got your six. We back you up. We got your back. Heck, man, and that's from the heart. Y'all can probably tell that. You know, when I it's funny, when I'm not speaking just in general terms, I can spit it out all day long, but when I'm talking from the heart, I get all discombobulated here and there and this and that, so understand, I'm like, well, why do you seem to be struggling a little bit? Just understand it's all from the heart, man. It's coming from the heart, okay? We are honored to have with us the current state director for the Law Enforcement Torch Run, Southern California, Blake Chow. Come on up here, Blake, if you would, brother.
Thank you, Leo. Likewise, I want to thank you for being such a supporter of us in the media. As you know, we don't always get the greatest support, but you've always been there. Everything that you've done has really been to back us up, and we appreciate it. But all my law enforcement officers, raise their hand. Any military here? Former military? You know, before I kind of talk about the LATR, I want to thank our uniformed officers and our military, because quite honestly, as Leo alluded to, these are the frontline people that keep our community safe, and will always be here for the community through thick and thin, and we have your back. I just want you to know that, as well as our military is there for you also. But as Leo mentioned, I'm the state director for the LATR, and I just wondered if Leo mentioned that that the law enforcement torch run had raised $1 billion in the last 40-something years for our athletes, like Michael and Brett over here, and that's internationally. But our Southern California region and the event that you're supporting today and all the other events we've done this year, we are going to raise $1.7 million for Special Olympics, and that's the region from San Diego all the way to San Luis Obispo. So give yourselves a hand for that. that is, I think, going to be a record year for us. And that money that and the support that you're giving is going to allow them to participate in sporting events, allows them to get health care, and the impact that it has on their lives and their families is just really immeasurable. You can't even really measure in dollars. But I wanted to thank you all for really coming out here and supporting us. I think one year an LAPD retired team won, Frank, is that correct? In the first year, so they're not here right now, so I think the sheriffs might have a chance if you're still around. Anyway, thank you, Frank, for organizing this. I love that outfit. I think Frank and I'll light up in horses next year. But anyway, enjoy yourselves, and again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for your support.
Okay, so now we're going to close out this opening ceremony with the arrival of the flame of hope. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oops, let's back up a bit. All right, brother.
No, that's good. So actually, right now we're going to bring out two athletes. We're going to bring out Michael and Brett, who are both gold medalists. Come on up, guys. They're going to see a few words.
Good morning. My name is Brett Laza, and I have been involved in Special Olympics Southern California for 19 years. I compete in track and field, floorball, tennis, swimming, volleyball, and bowling. I am a global messenger where I help spread awareness about acceptance, inclusion, equality, and respect. In the Special Olympics, I am able to meet many people that make lifelong friends. It gives me self-confidence and courage without being judged, and it has also helped me to become more independent. I have been involved in law enforcement torture for about 12 years and have had many amazing experiences. In 2015, I traveled to Athens, Greece for the torch lighting ceremonies.
Where I received the Flame of Hope, which was the beginning of the Unified Torch Run Relay for Special Olympics World Games in Los Angeles. The LATR is the largest grassroots fundraiser for Special Olympics, providing opportunities for athletes like me to train and compete at various competitions. There is no cost for athletes to participate in Special Olympics where we can show our abilities rather than our disabilities. The LATR has helped me to become a leader and advocate for others. Athlete stories inspire law enforcement and others around the world. I was the first Special Olympics athlete to be on the International Planning Committee for the 2023 Final Leg Torch Run in Berlin. In July, I traveled to Germany to carry the torch for the Special Olympics World Games. It was a huge honor to be with the LATR as the guardians of the flame, and I was very proud to carry the flame of hope throughout Berlin. Thank you those who organized this great event and for coming to support Special Olympics. Have a great day.
Hello everyone, my name is Michael Ayon. I'm an athlete, global messenger, and health messenger. I'm also the current athlete representative on the Law Enforcement Torch Run for Special Olympics Southern California Council. On behalf of me and my fellow athletes, I'd like to thank you all for coming out for this year's Shoot for Inclusion support of Special Olympics Southern California. Through Special Olympics, I've been able to compete in many sports, speak at different events like today, and MC a few Special Olympics activities as well. And I've spoken with California representatives in Washington, D.C. during Special Olympics Capitol Hill Day, and I was part of the 2023 Law Enforcement Torch Run Final Leg for the 2022 Special Olympics USA Games in Orlando, Florida. Not only am I involved in Special Olympics, but my entire family as well. Both of my parents My brother and one of my sisters are coaches for Special Olympics. My other sister volunteers at the competitions. My dad, who is here today, is also a member on the Law Enforcement Torture and Council for Special Olympics SoCal. Because of you, Special Olympics Southern California can continue to support all of its athletes in many ways. Because of fundraising events, just like today's clay shoot, no athlete ever pays for anything: uniforms, equipment, transportation to major competitions, facilities, or even meals at events. So thank you for all participating today. I hope everyone has fun shooting for inclusion. Remember, just like that Special Olympics athlete O says, and repeat after me, let me win. Let me win. But if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt. Let me be brave in the attempt. Thank you.
Outstanding. Another round of applause for these fine athletes. Now, event chair, Los Angeles School Police Department Sergeant Davis, man, big heart, great door.
Well, obviously I get a lot of credit for, we started the event, but I cannot do without the committee that works all year long to put this together. Can you guys raise your hand if you're for my Play Shoot for Inclusion committee? So the committee is made up of Knights of Columbus, Law Enforcement Torch Run, and then like Michael Leone, an athlete. We try to get everybody who's a stakeholder involved to have a say in how this event goes. So another thing that we need to recognize, we have a lot of partners that have donated items and donated time. Knights of Columbus, Target Sports USA, you see their signage. They are one of the ammo providers for the entire shoot for this year. So big thank you to them. Pacific Sporting Arms, if you're going to be putting in for the raffle for the Beretta A300, that's a big thank you to them. Benelli, who is the other donor for the other shotgun. LA Police Gear, Angelo's Armory, who is the FFL gun store for the range here. Couldn't do it without their help. CRPA, who is actually, they're going to be back here. Go and say hi to them, check them out. They're a great advocate for the 2A community here in California. Esprit de Corps, who is our other vendor. Guys, we were saying hello. Go and check them out and check out the custom flag that they have that they'll be raffling off with the LETR and SOSC on there. It's pretty amazing. Starbucks, raise your hand. You got Starbucks here. They're volunteering. Big thank you to them. And then Taco Surf, who's going to be coming up for lunch today, and they're going to be catering our lunch, which is really amazing. So big thank you to Taco Surf. All right, scoring for the sheets. I know that's been some questions. And you guys need to be honest here. Don't be cheating, okay? Ryan, I'm looking at you, Ryan, right now. Okay. All right, so on the score sheets, if you hit the clay, you get an X. If you miss the clay, you get a circle. And don't be trying to put 100 X's on here. I already know, all right? We're going to be keeping you guys honest, all right? But yeah, so that's how we're going to score it, okay? So on the score sheet, an X is a hit, circle for a miss, okay? We're going to be doing report pairs, which means you will call for the first bird, and then as soon as you shoot that at that bird, the next bird will get thrown automatically for every station. We're not going to... No troop pairs or any other type of, we're going to do report pairs only for the entire event. Does that make sense? Yep. And now I got to put my range hat on in terms of the safety portion, okay? Obviously this is a shooting event. We're going to follow those 4 general safety rules, right? We're going to treat all guns as if they're loaded, okay? If you don't know the condition of that gun, it's loaded and treat it as such, right? We're not going to point anything, put our gun in anything we don't want to destroy, right? We're going to have our finger off the trigger until we're ready to shoot, and our shotgun's going to be hopefully pointing at a clay pigeon to shoot at it. All right, and then we're going to be aware of our backdrop and beyond. Once and our backdrop starts right at the end of your muzzle. Okay, so you guys are going to be unloaded as you move from station to station. You're not carrying any ammo today, all right? Ammo will be at the stations provided for you. Okay, you will load once you get into the H-frame to start shooting. You'll load there, you'll be unloaded, and then you'll move off. Any questions on that? That's a big one, all right? I've got a bunch of people in red and green over here that are going to be kind of keeping an eye on everything to make sure everything's safe, okay? Be respectful. If you have any questions or anything, see them as well. If you have any problems with any of your shotguns, any malfunctions or whatever, let us know. We'll get something to you, either if it's oil or if you need something, we'll figure it out, okay? So what we're going to do is once we leave here, we're going to have you guys go to your cars, cover any of your gear that you're going to need to, get with your teams, take some photos. We got Tactical Santa over there. He's a great photo op, Christmas card. I don't know, whatever. All right, so if you guys have any questions or need anything, you can come see me afterwards. I'll be happy to answer. But thank you again for being here. And then we're gonna have one more. We're gonna bring the torch in right now. So Leo, go ahead and.
Let's close out this opening ceremony with the arrival of the Flame of Hope. Please direct your attention to the front. Big thank you to the Deputy Chief, Michael. Now that the torch has arrived, let us shoot again.